Duh.
You are watching the number one podcast in the whole entire youth wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Wanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean Paul Leck.
Together we are
Rope Ray.
Ray. Welcome, family, not only on YouTube, but also on Facebook. So, welcome to every single one of you that is watching. Welcome to this Smackdown review. The go-home show for is going to be WWE Fastlane. Actually, not a bad show. We got a lot of good things, more matches added. So it's going to be a really, really packed show. And, the last stop for the road of WrestleMania. How we doing, Paul? And did you like this show?
Good. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good today. And, this show, and I think, it delivered for SmackDown. Normally we get shows that one or two segments are good and then the rest of it is shit. Tonight it was like flip-flopped. Only one or two segments were kind of bad and the rest of the show was really solid. To really great. I liked a lot of, like you said, a lot of the matches they added, especially, and we'll get into it, the Shinsuke Nakamura Seth Rollins match. I'm really looking forward to that. So, Fastlane is shaping up to be a pretty good card.
Exactly. Steven Butler, already our friend, saying hello. How we doing, Steven? How's everything? Ready for some Fastlane? So before that, thank you so very much to the community on Facebook that is watching us for the first time live here. Get used to it because we're going to be every single SmackDown. We're going to be live on both platforms. Also to our YouTube family, thank you for all the love and support that you give us. Don't forget to check out, the NXT UK review, the RAW. We were talking about this poll, we were really excited about to see, Trend 7 with Jordan Devlin. But the main problem was that, we kind of knew the outcome of the match.
Oh, yeah. When you already know that the main feud is Santos Escobar, it's like, this is kind of an afterthought, but they still delivered a fantastic match. Like I said, it's still, for all the main events, especially the, sorry to say, the kind of dud main event we saw tonight. I think that, nothing beats Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, but this match came close. Trent Seven and the Irish Ace, Jordan Devlin. This was a fantastic match. NXT UK delivered a solid show again this week.
Exactly. So, family, thank you so very much one more time. So, let's start with SmackDown, Paul. We are actually happy that the show didn't start like every single other show that we see, in WWE, especially SmackDown. We didn't see that. So, we actually see the SmackDown Women's Champion, Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. And they're talking with each other. And Bianca's like, I got to be by your side because, you have Nia Jax. You might lose the championship. The match, we're not going to have it at WrestleMania. What's going on? I'm going to make sure that the match takes place. So tell me a little bit about this because I was like, they're going too friendly. And I get that because of Fastlane, they're going to go for the tag titles. But again, it needs to be more separation between the two just because, they're going to be fighting at WrestleMania. So you can be friends the one day and then just, be completely enemies the day after.
But that's exactly what I think it is. And I think then the match at Fastlane when they lose, I think is really going to solidify Sasha as a heel, Bianca as the baby face. Because right now Sasha's kind of baby face, kind of heel. But, Bianca wants to face Sasha. She doesn't want to face Nia. So that's why she's like, hey, I'm going to make sure you retain. That would be like, who do I want to face at WrestleMania? Do I want to face Swann or do I want to face somebody else? No, I want to face Swann. So I'm going to make sure he keeps the belt.
Exactly. So that's my thing. I don't really like that too much. I want to see more intensity between the two, and it's not too much friendly.
Yeah, I know what you mean. She should be more oh well, Sasha, hey, good luck out there. May the best woman win, and kind of give her a stare down or something, and then just walk away.
For example, hey, if you lose, bad for you. Whatever. I'm not going to be the new champion. I'm going to be facing Nia.
She should be it don't matter who it is. I have my ticket punched to WrestleMania.
Exactly. So they have the match with Nia Jax. It was supposed to be a championship opportunity. We got to see our boy Reginald. I guess he's Nia Jax gave him the day off and a day in the spa. You see Pickles right there. I don't know if I'm at work, on my regular job or what's going on. But this is, I don't like this thing with Reginald and Nia Jax. I've said this. This is actually dragging the feud, is make it less important. I don't understand why we keep pushing this agenda. So, guys, if you guys love this or you guys are enjoying this more than we do, please comment, right here. And did you like the match? I think that Sasha Banks started out really, really strong.
Sasha started out strong, but then when Nia took over, then you're just okay, you're just waiting for something to happen. You're just either waiting for some kind of interference or some kind of, just some bullshit. And of course, that's what it was. Bianca then came out and you're okay, something's going to go down. And then eventually, it did. Shayna got involved. Boom, boom, boom. She goes, the ref has his back turned. Oh, Shayna's going to hit the big knee strike on Sasha. No, she hits it on Nia Jax instead. And, Sasha gets the pin 1, 2, 3. But, I mean, Sasha did look, she looked good there against Nia. And I thought, a couple years ago, 2015, 16, when Nia first came on the scene to the main roster, I thought she had some good matches with Sasha. Even back then, I thought Sasha and her kind of had a good chemistry. And you saw that here. But, of course, like I said, the match just couldn't have been one-on-one. Clean victory. Of course, it had to be tainted.
One, like you said, Bianca Belair insertion into this wasn't good. I mean, Shayna, you knew that she was going to be there by Nia's side.
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
Oh, and how many times did we see, throughout the entire night was either somebody at ringside or somebody a guest commentator?
Oh yeah,
almost every match.
Dragon. Yeah,
almost every match.
I agree with you. It drags it really bad. I don't think it should be the way that they handle things on WWE. But like you said, she misses the knee strike and then cover the jackknife cover like Michael Cole called it, and there you go. She retains the championship, and we get to see a little bit more friendliness between the two. See, even the picture says, "I got you." It's like I knew that if I was gonna be there, we were gonna retain. So I mean, whatever. Here's when Nia Shayna Baszler kick with the knee strike with Nia Jax, and is it
and how bad was that? How bad was that setup? That setup when she hit it, it was so awkward. You could tell she was not even really aiming for Sasha, but it was supposed to be she was, and she got pushed into Nia, and it was just awkward looking.
Well, the main thing, for me is this didn't want to do the same thing that she did with Asuka. It's I don't want to build because Asuka is supposedly still injured. She's getting I guess fake teeth on that. It's not completely clear. She's clear to wrestle, but she's gonna be injured for a few months yet. I saw a report on that. So I feel that it was a okay, beginning of the show, a little better.
It was a better start. Maybe not better quality wise, but at least it was a fresh start compared to Roman.
There you go. So now let's go with the rated R superstar because he's going to be fighting after 10 years of being, away from the ring, retired and all of that. So Edge is talking to Kayla Braxton. And he says that SmackDown is a place that that he built. He had a lot of good moments. And of course, they make sure that you knew all the moments that he had. And then he was talking about how he, dropped the retire, how also he won the WWE, the World Heavyweight Championship with The Undertaker, and all the matches that he had. And he says this time is he's going to be facing Jey Uso. And Jey Uso, well, he has a lot of talent. He could be a really great, champion or a main eventer. Even the name is main event. And then he says, but he always lives in the shadow of Roman Reigns, and that's a problem. And he's going to end this problem tonight. So did you like Edge? His intensity is always good.
Oh, yeah. Edge is, he's a great promo. It's good to see him on SmackDown. I was excited, for this main event. I thought these two guys were going to tear it down and, they had good implications. And, I believe they showed the first one here, the Edge highlights, throughout his career on SmackDown. With Hulk Hogan. Yeah. I mean, this was definitely the weakest of all the moments they showed. All the other ones I thought were a lot more legit. But WWE, the way they always produce this stuff, it gets you excited.
Oh yeah,
the music they play and everything.
For me to see Chuck Palumbo and Billy, you good, so good to me. I remember the legit days of SmackDown. When actually I look forward to watch SmackDown. So I was okay. Hogan and Edge, whatever. But I mean, you said good promo, and I want you to I want your thoughts about this, and I want everybody that is watching us. Thank you one more time. Comment, let us know how you feel about this. Pato, thank you so very much. He always watching. Pato is our main supporter. You know that. The hosts of WrestleMania are going to be Titus O'Neil and Hulk Hogan. So what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, we had there's some past heat when Hogan was being naughty and saying some words that he shouldn't say, some insensitive words, and Titus O'Neil
words,
exactly
African Americans, yes.
And Titus O'Neil was very he had some heat with Hogan. So now maybe this was done to be okay, to show that hey, everybody's legit now. We're all shaking hands, hugging, kumbaya. Maybe that's what this is. But it is funny if you think about the past. It's ooh man, this is a pairing I never would have thought I would see.
Yes, a lot of people actually suggesting that Bayley should be
Stephen Butler said 19 years ago I went to WrestleMania 18 to watch Hogan versus Rock. Oh, that's badass.
That's a badass match.
Who would you cheer for? Were you Rock or Hogan? Because everybody turned on the Rock. Who'd you cheer for?
That was that was a great moment actually. Remember that? When everybody's just Hogan, and at the end they hug and all of that.
And then Rock's at Rock, he's so.
So they turned on me. But still, like the
Uh,
one thing is like they did it on the fly because he
yeah.
realized the turning and the Rock went heel right away and like good.
Mhm.
So
Well,
like that's
I feel like Hogan, like, I mean, he kind of always worked heel, even when he was a babyface. You know, in WWE or WWF, when he was, a babyface, he would still scratch the eyes and shit. And it's like, what's he doing?
yeah, like
And
there
what
you go.
Steven say? We cheered for Hogan and booed the Rock out of the building.
There
Okay,
you
so he
go.
was cheering for Hogan too.
Yeah, well, like Rocky legit, but if you gotta go for Huckster, that's fine too. So, I like you said, like it's gonna be interesting to see this because a lot of people were cheering for Bailey, asking online, tweeting like, how about Bailey? She doesn't have a match yet for WrestleMania. Maybe she should be the host. But this, Hogan, I don't know. This is like you said, a very interesting pairing. If I could say the least on this, we'll see what happens. So now let's go to another interesting pairing. So tell me what happened here. It's like, well, I was aiming for Sasha and I took you. But he's like, well, no bullshit at Fastlane. We're going to lose the championships and I'm coming after you. So he's like, what are you going to do? Well, in WWE fashion, they told me to ask for a match. You know what happened.
And how stupid, because Nia was like, oh, well, what are you going to do for me? As in, like, to return the favor of costing me this match. And she's like, I'm going to have a match with Bianca and beat the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Well, what does that do for Nia Jax?
Okay. Yeah. So we got to, wipe that stain right there. We got to just wipe it down.
That would be like, what is that? That doesn't do anything for Nia.
Yeah.
It's not like Nia it's not like, oh, now if Nia would beat up Bianca, then she would be the number one contender. It's like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, WWE fashion. Let's see what our boy is saying. Oh, right there is like, is Cesar is saying in Spanish, ¿en what channel are they broadcasting Smackdown? El show ya terminó, pero lo estamos haciendo el resumen, así que quédate, por favor. Gracias por estar con nosotros. So, let's move on, Paul, and we got like the Messiah of Friday nights now. Seth Rollins, finally, he learned how to dress. You see that, Paul? Yeah, legit, like he listens to Robrick. Thank you, Seth. I appreciate your sense on fashion now. Joan Rivers, wherever she is, she's like, oh, he did it right. He did it really right. Yeah. Thank you, Joan.
That was legit. Joan Rivers, legit.
Yeah, my best impersonation. Thank you. So, like he says, weeks ago, I came back and everybody embraced me and I was ready to, be like the main eventer that I am, but like one person did not embrace the vision is Cesaro. He stayed out of the ring. He humiliated him. He did like the Cesaro swing 22 times. So he says, like, I like the intensity in Seth Rollins. I don't know what you felt, but like he's like, don't forget that I'm Seth freaking Rollins and I'm a main eventer. I've done everything in the WWE that there is to do, and you're just a wasted talent. I like that.
Oh, yeah, this promo was great. He just said, like, you're just jealous of me. You're jealous of all the success. He's like, I am, I'm main evented WrestleManias. I'm champion. He's like, and the only thing you are is exhausted from running around chasing that brass ring. Now, I don't know if that was a shot at AEW or that was a shot at, Vince and his term, the brass ring, what that was. But this was a great promo. And this is, again, setting up the match at WrestleMania. Seth Rollins should, unless they just hate us, hate the fans, hate Cesaro, but they should put Cesaro over at WrestleMania, and this will be a fantastic match. I'm looking forward to it. But Seth is, getting some good, this is a lot better than when he was on Monday nights.
Oh yeah, and he also, like, I want to say hi to my brother, to mi gran amigo Diego from Ecuador. Diego, saludos mi hermano. Gracias por estarnos viendo. Thank you for watching. And Steven says Seth looks like he cold star in a remake of Saturday Night Fever in that shit.
I see it.
Am I not saying it? He can easily be like John Travolta and you should be dancing. Yeah,
and then like looking forward to the match against Cesaro. Oh, how could you not? That's what I mean. This match is good. This could be like a show stealer.
Exactly.
On WrestleMania.
And that's how, like, easy you can put Cesaro right there in that main event that he, deserves more than anybody in the WWE. And talking about people that like deserves more pushes, we get Naka right there, or Shin. In English they call it Shin. In Spanish we can say Naka. He comes out and he says in the best English possible, "Shut up." Good stuff, Naka. And legit. And then he goes, Jean Paul, what will you call that?
He's like, no, it's like from do you ever see the Scary Movies where he's like, what's up? And like the Dudleys. Well, the Dudleys did that. Yeah.
Baba and Devon used to do that, but like good stuff, and like he got the Kinshasa on Seth Rollins. So yeah, good.
And I love how Seth like went back in the ring wearing like a suit. Like, of course Nakamura's gonna have the advantage. Like, and then he just kicked his ass. Like he goaded Seth back in the ring. And so this is setting up a match at Fastlane, and I believe you said that like a week or two ago. You said you wouldn't be surprised if they had this match. So rope break. Look at that. we're that good. We can predict the future. So
Thank you.
this again.
I'm learning
could,
from you, Paul.
Yeah, this could be another show stealer at Fastlane. You know, if they give these guys time now, if they give them a 7-minute match, it'll be a 7-minute match.
Like
yeah,
I heard somebody was saying like the rematch for 2018 Survivor Series. Remember that? Like Naka was like
exactly.
a United States champion, said IC champ. So now and said was the face, and Naka was heel. So now it's backwards. So good stuff on that. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. And I like this because it holds over. It's not giving us Seth versus Cesaro at Fastlane and then done. Yeah, this is holding it over because they showed he's selling the effects of the 2-3 stomps he suffered last week.
Exactly. So, I won, everybody that is watching, I won. Also, Steven, Paul, what is this? I'm back.
Is this because and then the first
no more
thing,
AEW appearances, Mr.
Yeah, the first thing I thought of when I saw this is like they're sick of him popping up on AEW every month or so. So they're like, we're gonna put you in the Hall of Fame, give you a bunch of money, and you can never go there again. And Eric Bischoff was probably like, okay.
No, and we don't want the 83 weeks podcast anymore because Robrick is better. I'm like, I get it. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I agree.
So the only way to get inducted into the Hall of Fame is pop on AEW then, right? So it seems that way. So like,
exactly.
If you see us on AEW, then you'll see that like in a few weeks after that, we'll be in the Hall of Fame. So good stuff. A lot of the things that are going to be reported.
I like the only thing I'm going to say is I like the first announcement for the Hall of Fame better than the second one.
Oh, Molly Holly's awesome. Molly Holly, like a great wrestler, and like one of the first women that like was featured legit. Didn't have like the bras and panties, didn't do any of that. She actually was like with the hurricane. She had like better stuff. And remember, I respect the hell out of that woman because that was the only reason that they have that match at WrestleMania 20 with Victoria, because she said, "I'll shave my head. It's fine. I just want a women's match to be featured in that show." Vince is like, "All right, you'll just shave your head then. That's good shit." Okay, there you go. You know what I mean? So good stuff. Yeah, goodbye, Molly Holly. My respect. Rover's respect, honey.
Wait, what's Steven say? Bischoff deserves a Hall of Fame spot. Question is, who inducts him? Ooh,
that's actually a good question. Vince?
Or maybe Hogan.
Or Hogan, yeah. Like
maybe Stephanie.
I don't know Stephanie, but like you said, Hogan and Vince, one of the two. Also, like, I will say on Eric Bischoff, I enjoy more when he was the GM of Raw. That was so much better for me. I enjoyed, when he like gave Triple H the world.
Oh, he's a great on-screen character. He's great. It's just maybe the managing skills and everything that he did in WCW and how that turned to a train wreck. That's kind of where it's.
Yes. Oh yeah, but like you said, it's like he did,
or maybe DDP. I know him and DDP are pretty close.
Yeah, that will be. The one will be good. Cody or Jericho. Great appearances on AEW, man. Good stuff. So now let's go really quick to like tag matches. We had like the Street Profits against Mysterio and Dominic. So good. I really like the outcome of this match. Really quick, not too long. And we got to see real good performances, like I said, by both teams. But like I was thinking, push the Mysterios. What did we say, Paul, in the previous reviews? Do the Mysterios, right? Remember, like, why don't you just do Ray and Dominic? Maybe they can win the championships. And you mentioned this at the beginning of the show. Everybody's on commentary. So next week we will be in commentary like that with the beer and all of that. That's fine. The Dirty Dogs or the Dirty Dogs. There you go. And did you like this match? I think it was good.
Yeah, I did. And I was actually surprised to see the Mysterios win. And I'm like, okay, are they going to push them, or is it just going to be the Street Profits? Is that just the agenda that they're shoving down our throats? But no, the Mysterios got the win, and this was great. And I wasn't sure, like what was going on, because then right away when this match is over, you hear the Alpha Academy's music hits. They come out. I'm like, is this some kind of gauntlet match? Did they say that's what it was, or is this just they challenge them and they accepted it?
No, they said that like that match was supposed to be like a #1 contenders, and then Chad Gable and Notice came out, and they were like, "Hey, what about us?" He's like, "You guys are saying that like is #1 contenders match, and you're not gonna have us." So they challenged him right on the spot, and then they did it, and they had the match, and then the Alpha Academy is looking actually good, Paul. I like how they look. I like what they're doing, and Otis as a heel right now is actually a little better without talking. I remember the days of Taki. I miss Taki. I miss all of that. But at least he's actually winning matches and be featured more legit.
Oh yeah, no, I agree 100%, and I like that you said he doesn't talk. Chad Gable does all the talking, and he just Otis just has that intensity. It's almost just like his. I don't even know how to describe it. I guess just like this newfound intensity, and just because he doesn't talk, so you don't know if he's angry, how he is. But I mean, just the ending when he did that dive
Oh yeah,
onto
the splash on Dominic.
I didn't think he would make it. I'm like, Dominic looks pretty far out, but I mean Otis, is legit.
Oh
And I
yeah,
like that they won, even though I want the Mysterios to get pushed. Like I said, all four teams are kind of in the mix. Obviously, the tag champs are in the mix. The Street Profits then moved to commentary, so you had like six men on commentary, and it was like unbearable.
Oh yeah.
But then in this match, all the teams are kind of bickering, going back and forth. So this is like, they're like, who's number one contender? Is it Ray and Dominic? And they're like, we'll think about it. Oh, is it the Street Profits? Because you never gave us their rematch. No, it's not you guys. Oh, well, is it the Alpha Academy? We'll think about it. So they're all kind of playing this game, and like you said, maybe some kind of four-way tag match at WrestleMania for the SmackDown titles. I could easily see it.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be. You're seeing right here. You're seeing the tag match at WrestleMania. It's these four teams. They're gonna do it. They do it in every single Mania. Remember, like 2019, it was Aleister Black, it was Ricochet against the Usos. It was against Sheamus and Cesaro, and Nakamura was also inserted into that. I just remember it was the four-way also. So they're gonna.
And
do
the
it.
only thing I'm gonna say, if you do that, give it to the Mysterios.
Oh yeah, give it to Ray and Dominic. Finally, because remember how legit,
have that legit moment.
How hard they were. And
Yep.
and now they're not, they're not anymore. So, Steven, let us know how you guys feel about this. Everybody, also don't forget to help us out subscribing to Facebook, also to YouTube, help us out growing. We love you. We want to keep delivering this great content for you guys. And you want to see the picture of Jean Paul, me before we go live right here. Dude, that's how we're going to do it. No, that's not how we do it. Jean Paul, do you see the vision? Do you see like everybody's like messing up with like me? That's how like Sami Zayn is talking to Kevin Owens. Like, do you see that like there's a conspiracy behind me? They're just doing, they're fucking me up. That's why I have these cameras. That's what I'm having all this, footage that I'm recording to show you that there's a conspiracy against me. And then Kevin Owens is just the voice of reason. He's like, hey, man, maybe you're just not seeing it. He's like, you're just losing matches. That's what happens. It's
maybe you're just kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, and he's like, well, can you be by my side for my match with Baron Corbin? Yeah, that's fine. It will be quick. That's fine. So there you go. We'll go to the next thing. Edge winning like the World Heavyweight Championship, cashing in on The Undertaker. This was actually, Paul, the first time that I found out that SmackDown was taped, because like the results came out on a Tuesday and I saw the show on Friday after that. So I'm like, how is this happening? And then so little Juan, I got my heart broken. Not by a girl, but like professional wrestling. Done, bro, for the ones
that happens every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Like Steven says, 4-corner tag match at Mania. I like the Mysterios, but I would like to see Gable and Otis become the champs. That's fine too. Like do some justice to
just
Otis.
As long as it's not the Street Profits. Just give it to a new team. And nothing against the Street Profits, but you got to keep the division fresh. Can't keep giving it back to the old team. That's like giving it to the New Day.
Yeah, exactly. So like that's what you should do. I think that's it's fine. Like you said, as long as it's not the Street Profits, absolutely fine. So like we got to see this moment against with Edge. Like I said, Undertaker like lose the championship to him. Edge always knew how to cash in. Second time that he did it.
Oh so, yeah, and let me just quick say back to the last segment. What a fall from grace for Kevin Owens.
Oh,
he was going against Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. Now he fell to this mid-card angle with Sami Zayn.
Yes, like I mean that shows you. I mean, like the one thing that like and we're going to talk about this a little more. How good like people are the number one contenders being portrayed when it comes to like against Roman Reigns, because like right now I'm never been a big fan of Daniel Bryan, but how intense he looks, how convinced he's just ready to like get that championship, and Kevin Owens looking the same fashion. So I think that like what they do is work with them maybe. And, Paul Heyman, Roman, they're giving all of exchanging ideas because it's looking so good. But when you're not in, like, Roman's orbit, go back to same. So, okay.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And like you said, you don't know if Paul Heyman and they're all working together or if it's just, hey, why would Kevin Owens get all legit for something that's not worth getting legit over? Like this feud.
Yes, exactly. But so, let's go to like Daniel Bryan, man. Like I said, he comes out with like such passion. He comes out like really, really ready to like deliver this great promo. He's like, what a night we're having. Is the main event. Edge will come back against, Jey Uso to be the special enforcer, what is going to be Fastlane. And he's like, Roman doesn't want to face me at WrestleMania. I'm going to make sure that Edge doesn't, make it the main event. And I'm going to be against Edge. And he says, Edge, thinks that he can be Roman. I know I can be Roman. So really good, like, narrative that he's telling me. Roman comes out, of course. At least we had to wait an hour for that. I will not, I'm not upset about that. But Daniel Bryan also mentions that he's gonna make Roman Reigns tap out. Do you like the word tap out or submit? Or Steven, tell me, you let me know also. Like, do you like
I
tap
mean,
out or submit?
to me, it don't matter. Tomato. I'm
Yeah.
fine with either. But I like that how he's just like, I'm gonna make you, right like your cousin. I'm gonna make you tap out. Just and like you said, the intensity. You almost you know he isn't, but the way that Daniel Bryan is selling you this match, you want to see him beat Roman.
Yes.
And that's the thing, when we already know it's not going to happen. Like he said, even Edge doesn't want it to happen. He's like, for some reason, it's not like Edge wants to face me. He wants to face Roman. And it's like, what does he not think he can, or doesn't he think he can beat me? Like, and you want to see Bryan win, even though I'm sure a lot of people don't. But, the way Bryan's selling it, part of me, when I'm watching this match, I'm sure there's going to be a moment or two in time when I'm like, come on, win, but in the end, it's, Roman's going to get the,
And,
the guillotine and done.
Steven is saying WWE likes David versus Goliath booking of Daniel Bryan. Trouble is, it is played out already, and nobody expects him to beat Roman. I hope
exactly.
the match is good, and I like tap out. See? Like a lot of people like tap out, or they like submit. As long as like you said, tomato, it's fine. But like you said, that's the big narrative that he's saying. I agree with that. It's like they want to make you believe that it's going to happen. And if you do triple threat, I think you're not doing justice to Edge.
No,
you know what I mean? Is it supposed to be single?
Be 1-on-1? Yeah.
Yes, and Roman comes out, and it's the fashion. You think that like you're going to make me tap out? I can put up with your lies. I know you're ambitious. I know you want to be in the main event of WrestleMania. But you're not going to lie to the tribal chief, to the head of the table. You can never make me tap out. Bryan, you have more possibilities that like you get wings and you're not flying, or like get a Red Bull. Pretty much he's, promoting Red Bull, get wings and all of that. And he says, that you will make me tap out. I will die trying, before you made me tap out. I will tap out to another man. And, it will be a complete, really downgrade if I will tap out to smaller men like you. Kind of like good shots, good narrative right there. I love this.
Roman is getting like I know you don't like him, and to me every time you say you hate him, to me it's like that means he's doing his job as a heel. I think Roman is a legit heel. This is a heel that they needed for a long time, and maybe that the reason why to be like the fruit tastes so sweet is because we let it get ripe for so long. Because they waited and waited and waited to turn this guy heel. Boom, they put him with the best heel manager that they have employed in Paul Heyman. And, this is in the beginning, it was a little bit, we don't know. But I think this, this last feud with Kevin Owens and now this feud with Edge and Daniel Bryan, has really solidified Roman as the top heel.
One thing I want to add with what you're saying is because also like the number one contender is putting the effort to make us believe that at some point it can happen. So that's why, like I said,
it's a hell of a lot better number one contender than when the Miz was number one contender.
When these guys can actually talk and make you believe, like you said, for a split second, or like those 5 minutes that I can say, oh, maybe they're gonna do this to Isaiah Swerve Scott. Why not? So Bryan says, I like all of this. I like, well, you can be the head of the table, the tribal chief, all of that. So you're delusional. All those are really delusions. And, everybody thinks that they're unbeatable until they get beaten. Everybody then, they can say that like they will never tap out until they tap out to somebody. And on Sunday, I'm going to just break you. I'm going to just make you wake up from all of the illusions. And, I'm going to become the Universal Champion and I'm going to headline WrestleMania. So what a great promo right there, Bryan. And the intensity is right there. I love this. This guy convinced me that he deserves one more run before he hangs up,
Yeah, and part of me wants him to win it on like you just want to see him win it on Sunday just to drop it back to Roman on Friday.
Yeah, I mean,
just like let him win it, and then if Roman needs to get it to go into WrestleMania versus Edge, so be it. But I mean, like you said, you just for all the work he's put in, and just just these past couple months on SmackDown, you go back, all his matches that he's been in were all legit matches. The stuff with AJ, Matt Riddle before Riddle went to Raw, all the way back then up until now. Bryan's been legit, so he deserves it, especially as a babyface, because his last title run was as a heel.
Yeah,
so give him a babyface title run,
and that will do justice. Because remember when he was face, he couldn't really defend the title. He got injured in all of those situations. So I agree with you, Steven. What do you think about this, Daniel Bryan? I'm loving it. I think it's a really good thing. And now let's go to this. Not really a great part of the show.
What did you think of when they did the least anticipated match of all time? Like nobody gives a shit. I was laughing.
All of this.
Yeah,
fun.
I was like, you know what? They're finally telling the truth.
Finally, and you know what? It's funny. It came out funny.
Yeah.
I didn't remember. There has to be a winner, right? It doesn't really matter who comes out the winner and all of that. So like they have the match, and like you said, Kevin Owens was actually on commentary. Yeah, so like
Yep, another person on
commentary. Right they said that I got to be here, so I got to do it. It's fine. So then they have the match right there. Boom. End of days. 1, 2, 3. He gets the win, and then
does anybody care? Like the promo said, does anyone care? No.
No. And then you see like they're teasing the feud right here because Kevin is like, hey, sometimes you lose when you don't have the right strategy, because he was trying to use he put the feet on the ropes and he wanted to like get advantage of that. And then Sami Zayn reacts with like a haluva kick, and then he takes out Kevin Owens. So are we gonna see this one more time? I think so.
I was just gonna ask you and everyone watching that question, Steven, everyone else, do we really want to see Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania? One-on-one? No.
No. We've seen that before so many times. No, like Sammy deserves to be, like you said, inserted into the Intercontinental Championship match, something like that, or at least give him like another baby face that he can work with, but not Kevin. That to me sounds lazy. He's like, we have two great talent. What do we do with them? They just put them together. Well, they've seen it before. Yeah, they don't remember. Yeah, we do.
I mean, it's. Like I said, Kevin Owens is just a fall from grace. He was in such a legit, you could have did something with him. What did I say? When Jey Uso slammed his arm in the door in the Elimination Chamber and Kevin Owens got eliminated, I said, it'll be Jey Uso versus Kevin Owens. That'll be a one-on-one feud, and then boom, both of those guys, have a high-profile match going into WrestleMania. But instead, he fell down from main event, to mid-card, almost to jobber level, because Sami Zayn isn't even in like high mid card. The way they're using him on SmackDown is awful.
Oh yeah, it's bad. So like, hopefully
he's like Elias level on Raw.
Oh yeah, Elias and Riker. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Let's hear what our boy says. I agree. Daniel Bryan needs one more title run and another Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn match. This time with KO as the face and Sami as the heel will be good, but it's another example of recycled feud.
Yeah, exactly.
Steven, thank you. We're saying it right, so good stuff. That's what made us feel good, because why? Like you said, the perfect feud is right there. Jey Uso and Kevin. You screw me, because of you, I'm not champion.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, hey, you injure me and all of that. Easy way to book it. No, thank you, WWE.
Done.
Yeah, let's go with like the guys that is intense. This is good. The only thing that I gotta say on this is like I'm not liking the accent, and I know why he's doing it. He's a different character, but I like.
This accent, when he cut promo the past 2 weeks, it sounded legit. This one sounded like if You or Me was trying to imitate him and was cutting a promo.
It wasn't good, but like I mean, like the narrative, the dialogue that they have between the two, Big E's like, hey, make sure you enjoy everything because you have 2 more days. Because it's personal, I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna break you. I'm gonna, destroy you. So like, really cool. And you see, like, Big E finally serious, and maybe he struggled a little bit. Did you notice that? Because he doesn't know how to be that serious, but like he came out good. I like that. I like.
This was in the beginning. He was just like, oh, like his voice was like a little like high pitched, and like you said, maybe he doesn't know how to talk like super serious or anything, but. I mean, then eventually when they got it going, even Apollo, like we said, the accent was a little funky, but just the verbiage was good. I love where he's, what did he say? Like somebody who, talks with a mouth full of razor blades will, something with about blood, like just all the lines and the metaphors and stuff he uses was so good. And I'm looking forward to this match. And I think Apollo's got to win.
No, Apollo needs to win. These are the type of matches that needs to win, because
or this match, or it ends in like a count out. Both guys maybe knock themselves out. They can't get to their feet. Something like that. That they book this at WrestleMania and then Apollo wins there. Like if you do that, I'm fine with. But like if you want to extend it to then, because it is kind of quick to do the blow off already. But when this is feud's all said and done, Apollo, like you said, needs to be the champ. That's the word.
He said, I'm going to destroy your bones, such as like they do in the Nigerian words. And finally, I will have what I deserve, my ancestors, will see me to climb to the top of the WWE as the new Intercontinental Champion. And why do I think he's going to win? Because in the most logic WWE fashion, if you see that like the face gets the upper hand in the go-home show, what's going to happen? Then, that means he's going to lose the title. So yeah, you saw that like he was driving in that like small car, the golf car, and then he finally found Apollo because like he actually left right there. He's like, so I need to leave from here. I don't want to do this anymore. You know, Paul is already falling asleep now. He's not falling asleep. There you go. They got, and then they start going at each other. Really good stuff. You like I said, like and Apollo like pretty much done. But you see that Big E is actually getting more the upper hand. So you know that at Fastlane he's gonna lose the title. And that's fine because
yes.
unfortunately Big E, you know, as a face champion, doesn't do anything for anybody, I think.
No, and unless they're going to give it to Apollo here just to give it back to Big E at WrestleMania, to give him that big, you know, babyface win at WrestleMania, who knows? But, I mean, if Apollo gets an IC title run, I mean, it's legit. I just hope it's a long one when he gets it and not just, you know, from Fastlane or WrestleMania.
Yes. And you know, see what we're saying, Steven saying also. He says, my favorite segment it was the how these two were fighting backstage, you know, having like these interactions between, because you see intensity from both guys. However, I can do without them training promos because it exposes their weaknesses in speaking.
Yeah. Especially trying to do the accent. Like everything Apollo said was legit, but trying to do the accent on top of it, you know, it was tough. Like we said, Big E, you know, he's not normally just like gyrating and doing all that. Like, you know, he's not used to being serious. So
yes, and you know, the one thing with the accent is like, I know he can talk right. You know, I know that that's not just an imitation, so it's coming out bad. But I mean, like the whole identity, the whole character is fine. You know, it's like, hey, you have Nigerian descent, all of that. You want to represent, absolutely fine. There's no point on being bad on that. But you know, it's gonna be a good match, and hopefully we get a new IC champion over there. So now let's go to the next one. This was like 2 seconds. You know, Shayna Baszler with Bianca Belair, and they didn't even have the match because I saw something on Instagram that Natalya and also Tamina, they said we're gonna make a statement, and you know that's what they did. They interrupted the match and they took out both women. And I mean, Tamina finally looks a little decent, and that's fine. You know, she does a decent super kick, and I like the tilted slam that she does. You know, like remembering like the big balls man, something like that. You know, I love that. And you know, boom, you get to like both of them like right there standing in the ring. Are they going to be added to the match at Fastlane? Maybe, or this will be the bout that we will have like, you know, maybe Sasha and Bianca kind of like for the titles, and then they will win it before WrestleMania. You know, Natalya and Tamina. What do you think?
Yeah, or maybe they'll win, or maybe they'll actually have the title match at WrestleMania. Maybe the titles will still be on Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. I mean, who knows? You know, we'll see what they do with this team, but you know what I mean? I'm not going to get excited because why are they teaming up? Are they saying, oh, we both feel disrespected? We're the daughter of legends, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, give me the connection. Yeah. What's the purpose of this? They just come out and jump people. Okay. You know, you jump people, you do things you're not supposed to do. That doesn't earn you a title shot.
And, you know, like the one thing is also like, where's the Riot Squad? You know, where's the Riot Squad? Where's the early teams? Yeah, but I mean, it's fine that they're doing something with them. Especially, you know, Natalya has all the talent in the world. Maybe not in mic skills, but like, you know, wrestling ability and all of that. She pretty much trained the whole roster. The fact that all those women are really good wrestlers or they can perform at the level that they do is thanks to Natalya. So, I mean, if they give her something to do, that's fine. And Tamina, every time that she's got some kind of momentum, gets injured. And when she gets injured bad, you know, for a long time. So like, you have Steven is saying also, WWE has done a better job showcasing Tamina and Natty and Nia Jax and Shayna over Sasha and Bianca. The two women battling for the women's title. I just cannot understand this booking. Exactly, you know, like that's what we're saying. Why will you have a tag match, you know, with Sasha and Bianca involved when you can have like Tamina and also like Natty? That would be better.
Exactly, because it's all just to build the tension for the match at WrestleMania, and it's like I get it, but you can build the tension in way better ways, and have these women in the tag match at Fastlane.
Exactly. So I don't know, but like I mean, you see the statement that they did, and that's fine. And like I said, hopefully this actually means at least a title match and maybe a winning for them. Because like you said, if they don't have any teams when it comes to the women's division, at least create these teams or give these girls a good run, and then from that you can actually start like having the Riot Squad. Make the title legitimate, you know, make the title the focal point of what you're trying to showcase, and not like the other titles. Have everything separate from the tag team division. So let's go to the main event, Paul. You know, Jey Uso against Edge. They had more moments the moment that he retired and all of that. You know, we've seen that so many times. But there you go, like looking like Sub-Zero. Like kind of like everybody wants to be Sub-Zero. Am I the only one that loves Sub-Zero? I think you love him too. Does anybody love Reptile? Does anybody love Scorpion? What's going on here?
I
Well,
don't, I don't know how you see Sub-Zero in that, but
well, you know,
hey.
look, like he has like the blue and all of that. He's
It's
never.
not. It wasn't blue. That's just like the color of like the light behind the thing. It was just his. It was
Oh,
his
you see
normal
it?
his
Yeah, look,
normal
look, look.
jacket.
See, like it's a light blue right there.
Oh, I
See?
thought you meant like the jacket and everything. I think
No,
it's
no,
a
no. See,
normal
it's a light
jacket.
blue right
Eh,
here. You know, I think if
I'll give it. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you.
yeah, like yeah, it was like a kind of like Sub-Zero, but like, what do you think about this match? Because to me, it seemed like one-sided, and Edge didn't look that good.
No,
And
and I thought it was going to be more of like a back and forth, maybe like a roll up attempt. Oh my God, he ducks a clothesline, hits the ropes. Oh, big spear, 1, 2, 3. Really contested. Instead, it was Edge got a little bit, then okay, Jey Uso dominates 90% of the match, and then Edge with an angry hug at the end, 1, 2, 3, and he wins, and it's like
yeah,
and it was a very anticlimactic setup to the spear.
and what did you think, Steven? Now we want to ask our audience, what do you think every
Yeah,
single
and I
one of
mean,
you?
and I
What
don't
did you
know,
guys
to have
because like
Jay just dominate it because you were selling it as, oh, it's Edge's first match back or first match on SmackDown in what 10, 11 years, oh my God, all this stuff, and then he just gets his ass beat for 90% of the main event. So I don't know. It was a little. It was good that Edge won, and it makes Jay look good, but it was a little bit of a letdown for how they were selling it, especially if you're a big fan of Edge.
It was, and that's the one thing that, like, well, Daniel Bryan also said, well, Jay's been like fighting every single show, while Edge is just been like a handful of matches here. So maybe that's why he's a little rusty. I don't know, but like the one thing he didn't look that good, and I mean, if he doesn't look that good, and it's gonna look against Roman, but I don't know why. Like he will just have like this bad performance, maybe just to keep him from fighting. Maybe they don't know if he can fight so many matches that
or maybe like I said, it wasn't anything like that. It was just to make Jay look strong.
The only thing that like bothered me most, Paul, is like you said, in the worst fashion possible, he just like played with the arm that like is call injured from Jey Uso, and then the spear. And 1, 2, 3. There was no anything like leading to it. Like you didn't wear the opponents like out. You didn't do anything of that.
No.
So that's one.
It was just like it was almost like they said, "Oh shit, hey Edge, Roman has to come out and spear you to end the show, right? You gotta wrap it up. You gotta take it home, And he's like, oh, okay, that's spear and done.
And when you play 2K20 or like 10 or anything, you just do like the finisher and done. But like Jay, I'm assuming that in this 21 game he was gonna be more than 70. Like that. So I'm assuming that he's actually going to be a little better, right? So like, well, no, they needed this to just showcase what Edge is going to be the special enforcer in the match that you guys can see on WWE Fastlane for the Universal Championship. Is he going to turn on Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns? Before you answer to me, Paul, let's see what Steven says. I like Edge, and he looks like he can still go, but to tell the story of a guy who had to retire because of a career-ending neck injury, he should not be in a match until Mania. Also, that's a good reason. So let's hear it from Paul.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind seeing him wrestle. I just wish it was a little bit more of a dominant, comeback to SmackDown. To wrestle his first match, I thought would have looked a little better. He didn't really need to wrestle until Roman, so I wouldn't have been upset if he didn't. I just wish this first match would have been different. It's almost like, just to joke around, to bring up some news, I was going to say, it's almost like Shawn Michaels, you come out, oh, here's my first match out of retirement in Saudi Arabia. Now he's like, so I regret it. It's like, yeah, is this big first match back on SmackDown? It's like, maybe I regret how we booked it. Maybe we should have made it a little bit more legit.
All I will say on that is, like, if he regrets it that match, give back the check. I regret working, right? Oh, well, okay, then give the money.
Okay, Sean. Okay.
Okay, Sean. Yeah, give the money back. Yeah. If you regretted that much, just saying. But like, I agree with you. And Steven also is like, if he has like that, and you sell the whole story, just keep him off. Keep him for the main event. He doesn't need to get like a Brock Lesnar way, but a little bit more. Like he doesn't need to fight all the time. And like you said, just give me a little bit more like comeback. You don't just like hog and done, because like you're calling Jey Uso main event for a reason, right? So you just lose with one move. Can the guy have a little bit more, not a kick out? You're not going to kick out of the spear, but at least, maybe do a setup and then you do the spear. But then they didn't have, and then the guy that actually uses the spear a little better, instead of hogging, he actually tackles you. That's Roman. He did the same, one for Edge, one for Bryan with the Hello Jey Uso. And that's the picture that we have to end the show. Roman Reigns looking dominant. Is he going to lose the championship? I don't think so. I think that we're just going to see a really good match. We're going to see a dominant Daniel Bryan, but in the end, Roman with the help of Jay, or maybe Edge also, like you said, because in the promo they inserted that line. Edge doesn't want, Daniel Bryan. He wants Roman, so maybe he can help Roman. He's like, hey, I just held Roman so I can have the match with him. So we'll see what happens. It's really interesting, and this main event picture is actually very good for what is going to be Fastlane. So I'm excited for this event.
Oh yeah, and this could be something, where maybe Edge, he maybe tries to hit Roman, but he accidentally hits Daniel Bryan, and then it's like, haha, you kind of screwed yourself because now Bryan will really hate you, and but now you get to face me and all this stuff. So who knows how they're gonna play it? Then that'll set up maybe Bryan will go after Edge when Edge wins it at WrestleMania. That'll be the feud following Mania. So, I mean, it's really exciting to see, and there's so many different predictable outcomes from this. It's not like, oh, okay, clearly they're going to do this. You don't know what can happen, and that's what's going to make the match must-see.
Yeah, it's going to be good. So it's going to be a really good way to end the show for Fastlane. Don't forget, family, we will be live also on both platforms on Sunday after, Fastlane is over. We're going to be talking about every single thing that happens. So thank you so very much, our family on Facebook, our family here on YouTube also, for all the attention, the comments. Steven, thank you so very much also to him, especially him, everybody else that is watching, that is saying hi to us. Keep supporting. Don't forget, for the ones on Facebook, help us out on YouTube. Share some love over there. Subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, hit a like also so the video can go up in the rankings. And where else, Paul?
And then don't forget to follow us, Rope Break, on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on the Original Rope Break on Instagram, and of course, right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast and the fastest growing brand in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
Thank you, family. Tomorrow we have soccer, so para todos los Latinos, Liga Pro, Liga Barcelona, we're going to be changing it up a little bit. So, family, thank you one more time, and we'll see you tomorrow and Sunday, Fastlane, everything. Have a great day, family. And you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...